AI today is mostly augmenting how project manager process the information. We implemented AI, grounded the system. AI won't replace the project managers because the core role of the project management is not tracking the tasks. Leaders need to define the guardrails within which the AI system has to operate.
Welcome back to the podcast. So, today we are going to deep dive into the hottest topic right now, and that is AI and how it is transforming the project management. So, to discuss on this topic, we have someone who is right in the middle of this shift, Vasu. Hey, Vasu, great to have you here.
Thanks, Abhishek. It's been pleasure.
Thank you, Vasu. So, let's start with very simple question as if how is AI actually impacting project management right now?
AI today is mostly augmenting how project manager process the information rather than replacing them completely. Um, so many operational tasks which you see, like summarizing the meetings or doing the documentation, analyzing the logs, or identifying the patterns in the user feedback, all such flows can now be automated by the assistance of AI tools.
Okay.
So that frees program managers focus, program managers bandwidth, and let the program manager focus on the decision making part or the system design and cross team alignments, right? To give you an example, one of the platforms I was working, we introduced AI into student asking doubts on our platform. We run an edtech platform, so where student can come and ask doubts that gets routed to a teacher. So that doubt resolution system, we were receiving hundreds and thousands of academic question each month. Now, initially, every question had to be answered manually by the teachers, which means the turnaround time, which we call it TAT, for every question was around day or two. We implemented AI, grounded the system, and a large number of grounded the system with a large number of internal question bank that we have within our organization. And now, as of today, we serve 90% of our students' doubt instantly with the AI bot, right? The 10% of the remaining still goes to the teacher as that part of the escalation, which are very, very complex questions. But that reduced the huge amount of load on our teachers' bandwidth. So basically, what I'm trying to say is what changed from a program management perspective is wasn't it's not just the technology, it's the operating model, how we work around it. We had designed the thresholds, the escalation flows, the validation loops to ensure that the answer by the bot are accurate and people have trust on the answers provided by the AI. So that's where I think AI is really impacting the project management. It turns project into human and AI system that requires governance, not just delivery.
Right. So if I summarize, it's about designing how humans and AI are going to work together.
Exactly.
Great. That was fascinating, Vasu. So let's address the big question: will AI replace project managers? Because right right now I'm getting a lot of queries whether project management and by the project managers whether AI is going to replace me or not. What should what should my focus? Should I go and learn AI? Should I leave project management? And all that questions are arising a lot in today's market. So let's address this big question. Awasi.
Yeah, sure. So, as you rightly pointed it out, there are a lot of speculations around it. Even me, I also sometimes think that will AI replace us? I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what 5 years down the line will be. But what I believe today is AI will replace AI won't replace the project managers because the core role of the project management is not tracking the tasks. It should be basically decision making under uncertainty. So large programs involves ambiguous requirements, conflicting stakeholders' interests or their priorities, and unexpected failures, right? So AI can help us to surface those signals, but someone still has to be there, decide, take a call, and respond to those signals. So again, one of my example is we were launching uh, LMS portal for the first time on our LN platform or on our platform, and I helped to build it, and we faced a scaling issues where along with the delivery of the lecture we had a section where the student can chat with the faculty or the teacher, but thousands and thousands of chat requests started coming in. Now the system started failing due to the load that was present on the system, and everything started shutting down. So we quickly had to prioritize the system stability. So we rate limited the chat service, we temporarily disabled all the non-critical workflows that were present in the LMS, like the reaction flows. And we also coordinated with different engineering teams while discussing that how the system can be up in no time, right? So within this a few minutes the system was stabilized, the class continued. So when I retrospectively look at that, AI could have detected this rising load and suggested optimizations, what can be done, what cannot be done. But the decision making of what to sacrifice temporarily to protect the core user experience required a human judgment and leadership. So at that moment, it has to be a person who is taking the call, as I said. So I don't believe that AI would soon replace the project managers. Yeah.
Correct. So it's all about process and tools which AI can overtake, but it cannot overtake the leadership, empathizing with your team or with the stakeholders. It cannot overtake team communication, team collaboration. So all these, in a nutshell, all these cannot be overtaken. Yes, a project manager will be a project manager, but supported by AI. So what do you
Exactly.
think for current project managers? So, I have been working in this IT industry from so long. So earlier, the project managers were typical project managers, right? Then they transformed into Scrum, Agile project managers, and now technical project managers. And now, since we are talking here, we are talking about AI project managers. So, what skills should project managers, uh, inculcate within themselves to be relevant in the industry?
Yeah, you are correct. So basically, you need to be adaptive enough to be in the industry and be relevant, which I completely am agreeing to and aligned to it. So the biggest shift is that the project manager now need to become system thinker rather than task manager, as I was earlier also discussing. So as AI automates all the administrative coordination, the value of program manager move towards understanding how the complex system behaves, where the risk lies, how where it can emerge from. So technical literacy becomes very important here. Not necessarily that you have to write a code or do a technical be that technical, but you need to understand the architecture, the data pipelines, the AI system. For example, when we implemented AI in our doubt resolution platform, the challenge was not just integrating the LLM or calling the chat gpt ka API, but we have to design the retrieval pipelines or RAG, make sure that our accuracy hits the thresholds, and we also had a human to validate and make sure that our answers are grounded enough so that the system remains trustworthy at scale, right? So another key skill that now the project manager have to inculcate is interpreting the data signals. AI can generate lots and lots of data and insights, but someone still has to translate those signals into product decisions and engineering priorities. right? And finally, cross-functional leadership, as you mentioned, become even more important now because large system requires engineering, product, business, and everybody be on the same page moving together. So I believe, yeah, those are the skills that we require as a project manager.
Totally agree, Vasu. So, I have been project manager, and then I have seen a lot of project managers working under me. The biggest issue with the project managers was identifying risk, beforehand, so that they can have a mitigation plan, and they can log the risk in the registers, and they can follow a risk life cycle. So, how do you think AI is going to affect the risk management, which is one of the strongest pillar and one of the highest demanding pillar of a project manager?
Yeah, so in my mind, basically one of the shifts that AI will bring is moving the project execution from reactive management to predictive management,
Hmm.
right? So understanding or surfacing the risk even before it arrives, be ready, be prepared with it. So traditionally, project manager used to spend a lot of time collecting the updates, reviewing the dashboards, and trying to determine whether something would be going wrong or not. Now, AI systems can continuously analyze those operating signal across the engineering tools and infrastructure and databases and user behaviors, right? So, um, I can relate to one of my projects where I saw an earlier version of this. So we were rolling out our in-house streaming infrastructure for live classes, right? And initially the platform success rate was around 72%. Basically, 28% classes were failing to get conducted on this platform, so which was not totally acceptable at all, right? And so instead of reacting those individual instances or the incidents that happened, we introduced detailed observability dashboards on our ground cover report, and we started tracking each packet loss, each latency, audio video latency, and a lot of synchronization issues. Now, again, by analyzing those signals over the time, we improved our reliability, and we were well above 98, 99% of the success rate, and we stabilized the system and the platform significantly. What AI now can do in future is automate all of this, give us the analysis and the analytics part of it, and it can correlate multiple signals from different systems, and can predict the potential failure, even before it happens and impacts any of our user or the customer. So that's how maybe AI will help in determining the risk, and even going forward, maybe with the agentic flows, it can be managed as well before it occurs. So I believe, yeah, there is a lot of potential in AI to help project managers determine the risk and help them to mitigate those.
Correct, correct. I totally agree with you, Vasu. So automation has been a long journey, right? So earlier, when we were developers, we used to push our codes using WinSAP, then raise a ticket to the server team, and we used to furnish all our details, whether which particular server to hit, which particular file to be deployed, and all that stuff. And then came up DevOps. It automated the entire pipeline from development to operations, and it made world very work very easy for all the developers. Now, similarly, since AI is going to help automating lot of processes for project managers, where do you find the human leadership fitting into it?
Rightly pointed. So as much as AI becomes more capable, human leadership actually becomes more important. As we discussed earlier, AI can optimize the process, as you mentioned, and generate insights, but cannot define priorities, ethics, or even trust boundaries. For example, when we were introducing AI into the educational product, one of our one of our biggest decision wasn't technical. It was deciding how much autonomy we should give to the AI and how much answers should the AI provide to the students automatically. So to give you an example, certain topics were very very complex where we didn't wanted AI to answer it directly. We made sure that it goes or escalates to the teacher. uh, those decisions actually affect the trust and the learning outcome of our users and the credibility of the platform that we provide. Right? So the leaders need to define the guardrails within which the AI system has to operate. The accuracy standards, the escalation paths, the accountability structure are still lies within core leadership skills. In future, program manager will increasingly act as an architect of both technology systems and organizational system, ensuring that humans and intelligent machine works together and works effectively together, basically. So yeah, that's how I see the leadership evolving with AI driven future.
Correct. So, I can summarize the entire 10-15 minutes of our discussion into a very small line, which says that, AI will handle the how part of the problem, while humans will handle the why part of the problem. Right?
Right.
So, Vasu, any closing statement from your end?
No, it was a wonderful discussion, and we'll see how the AI evolves and what all how we have to evolve along with it. And when I heard somewhere that AI won't take our jobs, but the people who know AI might be the one who take your job. So I think we should embrace the euphoria that is going on, and we should work with AI to make it much more usable for humans, for the betterment of humans, rather than competing against it. So yeah, that's the final take. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Vasu. So, for everyone else who is listening, if you have enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow, share, and stay tuned for more conversations at the intersection of technology and leadership. Thank you, Vasu. Thanks a lot for giving us insight on this wonderful topic.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.